to Most Haunted Live. Now, already tonight, we have had, allegedly, paranormal activity in John Flamsteed's house. Also, have we actually found extraterrestrial activity? So much has happened already. And we move now to our next location. Now, this is the Silk Mill. It's really the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. Over 300 workers were employed here at any one time, including children from as young as 7 years old. Now, the worker's life was one of purgatory. You were summoned to work by a great bell that hung in that tower that you can see, and you were forced to work unimaginable hours from sort of 5 o'clock in the morning until late in the evening. Some workers died on the factory floor, and many women and children were incarcerated in mills like that one across the UK. And the workers were kind of lured there with promises of freedom and fresh air, but those promises were false. And the workers themselves were tortured, they were beaten by the overseers that ran the mill. It has a really nasty past. So let's join Yvette, Derek and the rest of the team as they investigate the Silk Mill.
Okay, oh here we are, climbing up the stairs in the Silk Mill. We're actually climbing up the tower that you saw earlier on. And we've got our audience member here, Helen, as well. Are you all right, Helen? Yeah? A little bit shocked? Okay, so we get to the top. Now, Helen, I just want to ask you, you've had a couple of paranormal experiences in your life, that one particular is quite frightening. You want to just tell us about it?
I was subject to a poltergeist when I was 5. My mother and father kept coming downstairs and finding me sitting with furniture piled against the wall, with the settee and the chairs on top of each other.
Did you actually see this happening?
No, we'd go to bed and come down, it'd be like it in the morning.
Is that quite typical, Kieran? Is that with poltergeist sort of...
Yeah, definitely, and also that it's occurring at such a young age is not unusual.
Oh, gosh,
a lot of children, or at least the parents of the children, report their children experiencing poltergeist activity below about the age of 10, so it's not unusual to get that.
And you've had other paranormal experiences as well, haven't you?
Yes, I've seen my father.
Right.
After he died, we came back to the house after the funeral, and my cousin and I saw him stood at the bedroom window.
Right, so not just yourself, but two of you. So I think maybe you're quite sensitive, so hopefully you might feel something while we're here in the Silk Mill. Now, Derek, you know, when we've been in the break, you sort of started saying as we were climbing the stairs that something was affecting your legs, and you were sort of saying, what would be causing that?
Well, you know, I continued on with this, and I felt as if I was just not capable. Although I'm in a standing position, it's as if I'm lying down, and I'm not able to move, and I just feel as if I'm paralysed for some reason, just for those couple of moments. And yes, I feel also with this, and I don't feel it's connected. Since that experience, as we walked the steps a moment ago, I felt as if I was engulfed in flames. There seemed to be flames all around me, and fire. I can smell the smoke and everything. So that again is coming from the residual energy of this building.
Okay.
And I feel as if, oh God, okay.
What?
Oh sweet Jesus.
What? What's the matter?
Oh. So thank you, Sam. Is this what happened? Did it happen here? Bless you. I've just seen a little boy, and this little boy is screaming. He's screaming, and there's just someone above him, and it's like as if he's bleeding. He's bleeding from here, he's bleeding from the ears, he can't move. This is the feeling I've got here. Take it off me. Take it off me, please. Sam, help, take it off. And look at that horrible... There's a man that's looking over him, and he's screaming, no, Isaac, no, Isaac, please, please. And this man's looking over him. He's beat him. He's beat him, and he's beat him. Oh, look, he's fallen down the stairs. He's gone right down. Bless. And he's followed him down.
Where? Which
He's
stairs?
took his life.
Which stairs?
It's here.
These stairs?
These stairs, coming down here.
Do you want to go further up?
Please,
Can we go further up?
He's fallen downstairs. He's been pushed. He's kicked. He was kicked. And he followed him down the stairs. And once the little boy, he wouldn't have been any older than 8, 7 or 8. And he's pleading, he's looking up at him, and he can't move. And he's kicked him again. And he's just, it's like as if he kicked the life out of the boy.
And you're saying the little boy is called Isaac?
No, he's shouting, please,
Please, Isaac.
leave me, Isaac,
Right.
please. So there's this man, and he's a horrible soul. There's more children here. There's more children in this energy and atmosphere. There's girls and there's boys. And there's adults, there's men and women. And, it's so warm.
Is it these stairs, this particular set of stairs, or another bit of stairs where you felt the little boy
Oh,
died?
what can I just tell you? You know, he's the picture was shown that he was lying at the foot of the stairs. And this man, this Isaac, came down, and the boy was pleading. He was paralysed. He couldn't move. I feel his back, his legs were broken, and he was still alive, bless him. And that's when I saw the blood flow, and he was shouting and shouting, and he kicked him, and it's like he's took the boy's life away.
Is the little boy still here?
Yes, he is. He's grounded here.
Is he?
He's not in visitation. You know, can I tell you something? You know, he screams here.
That has been
He
heard.
screams.
Yeah, that's been heard.
And he jams the lift. You know that lift down there? He goes in the lift and he jams it. He does it purposely to draw attention. And I feel he knows that lift inside out. He knows it inside out. And yet that lift wasn't there when he was here.
Why would he do that? Why would a spirit?
He's trying to
jam?
He's trying to draw attention. He's not so alone. He's still going. He needs rescuing. He needs to be sent over into the light, Ivy.
Okay.
The boy he's still replaying his agonies. And this beast, this Isaac, that did this to... What was he saying? He was a bad one, this Isaac. He used to beat kids. He used to beat the kiddies. They worked so hard.
Do you want to go further up, or do you want to go in the other direction?
Can we go back down by that lift?
You want to go back down? Yeah, sure.
Please.
Okay. Do you want to go back right down to the ground floor?
Yes,
Or do you want
please.
to... Yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll go back down to the floor.
I'm still getting all this smoke and fire. What does that mean?
Come on, let's keep going down.
Okay.
Come on. We'll go down. We'll go all the way down. I want you to tell me
Yes.
when you actually start to feel something where you think the little boy
Yes.
and his life ended.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. This energy is all here.
It's all here on the ground floor.
Now, you see, I'm here, and yet I go to another level, and it's like as if I started off much higher, up, but I feel his energies comes here to this ground floor because of this, and he
Well, I tell you what,
comes down in this.
Why don't we put Sally and Kath? Where are you? Put Sally and Kath in the lift. Let's see if it jams. Go on, Sal. Get in. Okay. Kath, go on. Let's just be interesting to see. Can you imagine if the lift jammed?
Yeah.
Turn the keys
He's
to the
quite
right.
capable of doing this, Ivy.
Go on.
He's quite capable. Please go in.
Bye.
Please go in.
Is he around?
I feel he is, yeah.
They've gone up.
Come on, son, you do it, come on.
So far, it's all right. It's fine.
Also, this lift, if it's got a bell, he'd sound the bell as well.
Let's sound the bell.
Yeah? Is there a bell to this?
Okay. Sounds like they're coming down. Are they coming down? Or is it jammed? Is it jammed? No, they're coming down. It's all right. That's fine. Well, this is absolutely fascinating because, as far as I know, this is the story that Kieran and I know
Yes.
about the little boy. We'll stay here for a couple more minutes, but meanwhile, we're going to go to a break. But we'll see you after the break. It stopped.
On one. Did they just go down to one?
Oh, they are. No, it's fine. God, I was getting
Stayed at
excited
one
then.
for a long
All right, we'll see you
time.
after the break. Please stay with us. You all right? I don't know why I'm shouting. They've got a microphone.
Welcome back to Most Haunted Live. This is the first night of our three-night trilogy as we investigate the ghosts and paranormal activity of Derby. Now, just before the break, we saw remarkable scenes, I think, at the Silk Mill, which is the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. And Derek connected with various spirits there. He felt that there were young children who'd been kicked, a boy who'd been kicked and beaten, who'd fallen downstairs, and that there was someone, a horrible man called Isaac. And we know that there are stories such as this within that mill. Now, for the first time on Most Haunted Live, what we're going to do is to continue with that investigation in the Silk Mill, but at the same time, you may notice that the sofa next to me has no one in it. And that's because I've sent them outside, because I'm that kind of guy. So I have sent Matthew Smith and David Wells out of where we are and sent them down to the river. Hopefully we can see some pictures from them. There they are, down at the river. Now, this is a confluence of ley lines. They come together, and there's a lot of history as well associated with the river, which we'll tell you about in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is ask David and Matthew to start their investigation down on the river, and at the same time, I'll ask Derek and Yvette to continue their investigation at the Silk Mill. Okay, so whilst they're doing that, let's go over, rejoin Yvette, Derek, and the rest of the team in that Silk Mill.
Well, here we are. We're back on the ground floor where you left us. Now, Derek, this always happens when you're going away. Tell us what you just picked up on.
Well, I was trying to concentrate, sending thoughts out to the little boy, and then Sam just, thankfully, said, Derek, he wants his name to be known. It's little Jeremiah. And then he said to me, 17, this must fit with this boy. Yeah. 17, 2, 3, 23.
Okay.
So and I feel that's the link.
All right. Well, we're going to try the lift again, and I'm going to go up in it.
Okay.
Is he here?
I feel his energy's about, yeah.
Yeah?
I really do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop the lift, Jeremiah. Forever.
Okay, I'm in the lift. Oh, God, please don't stick. Don't stick.
You won't harm me.
Don't stick. Please
Can we go all the way to the top?
Okay, go on.
First floor.
Oh, God.
Up to the second
Please
floor.
don't stick. I mean, I want it to stick.
Yeah,
Second
I'm
floor.
not sure if everybody can hear, but hopefully Yvette is giving a running commentary.
Oh, God, close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door. Thank you. It's very spooky. Okay, all the way down. All the way down.
We can hear it coming back down again.
First floor.
I'll be scared to death. Okay. We're coming down.
Ground floor.
Okay.
She's very relieved.
Open the door.
Yeah.
Open the door.
I came quicker this time.
Oh, fine, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that lift came down quicker than what I did with the other girls.
There was a definite delay
If you look at
on
how
the
long
first
it
floor
took.
when it came down.
You're kidding?
Up and
Honestly,
down,
Evie,
and
you
it
came
shot
down
down
so
when,
quick.
when
Should we do it
when
again?
came down.
Let's do it again.
That took a lot longer, didn't it?
Right, you ready?
It stopped at 1.
Ready?
The interesting thing is this place is it has a history of haunting phenomena and poltergeist phenomena.
Right.
Because you've got an old place, you've got this history of this boy, and yet he's interfering with
Something
modern,
new, yeah.
something modern.
The door opens and you can't see what I can see, but it's really black out there.
So it's at the second floor now.
Yeah. I'm worried up there now, it's too dark.
It's dark at the top. She's got the lights are still on within the lift though.
I had a horrible dream about a lift.
First
She's coming down.
now.
Why is it stopping on the first floor? No, no! Why is it stopping on the first? Don't stop on the first! No!
Let's not.
Oh, open the door! Open the door! It's done!
Up.
Is she okay?
Right.
Why did
Let's
it
go up.
do
Just
that?
What's that? Is she okay?
Yes, I'm fine!
She's just screamed. She's in the lift and it stopped at 1 car.
Yes!
Come on, can you press this?
Sorry.
I'm just seeing that. Evie?
Why did it
She's
stop
gone down.
Oh, she's down now. She's down. Carl?
Yeah, I'm done.
Why did it stop on the first floor? Why did it do that? Why did it do that?
Well, maybe the boy, you know, he's answering what we're asking him to do. You know, we are asking him.
I can't go back in the lift there. Ask me to go back in the lift.
What are you going?
Oh, God. Shall I go back in the
You're all
lift?
right, look.
Shall I go back in the lift? Shall I?
Yeah, what?
Yes?
Come on.
Okay, for God's sake.
What's those wires?
It's not opening. Is it jammed? It's jammed. No, it's not opening.
What's those wires with your legs?
Should one of us stay on one, or...?
I agree. I think it'd
Come
be a
with me.
good idea, actually.
Come on, Helen. Are you ready?
Sorry.
Okay. It just stopped on the first
Come
one.
on, Jeremiah. Do it again. Come on.
I'm going to go up to one.
Okay.
You stay. Do you want to stay here, Derek?
Yes, yes.
Because when it opens, it's so dark and there's nothing.
Let's go to 2 now.
Come on, Jeremiah. I know I'm scared to death, I'm sorry.
Say the 2.
Yeah, it's fine. I know. It's because it's so... You're dealing with things you can't understand. Well,
It's
I
coming
can't
down now.
understand it.
First floor.
Yeah, that's come down quite
Are
quickly.
you picking it up?
Ground floor.
No, that's come down a lot quicker, hasn't it?
What's that? No. Helen was just saying that she's someone stood behind her. She actually feels that
Yeah.
there's somebody there. You're all
Okay.
sensitive, aren't you? All right?
Oh, she is
Yeah?
sensitive.
I'm fine. He's in
You're
pain.
upset, aren't you?
No, he's just in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're going to release him. We're going to send him over.
Okay.
We'll send him over. We'll come back and we'll do that.
Well,
work.
this has been absolutely fascinating. We're going to move on to the next location. We could stay here all night. It's absolutely fascinating. David, back to you in the hub.
Thank you very much indeed, Yvette. Right, I'm with the History Boys, as you can see. Quick comment from you, Richard Felix. Good, bad or indifferent?
Very good. It's a well-known fact that that lift is very haunted. So is the tower of a little boy that was kicked down the stairs and bled to death at the bottom.
Let's go back. Hang on, Richard, we've got to go back. What's happening?
Down. Come on.
It's
bring
gone.
down.
It's moved off on its own. We've not pressed any of the buttons. It's just moved off on its own, and it's gone up to level 2, and it's jammed. You've got to turn the key to make the lift go up.
Yeah.
And it's just gone off on its own. No one sent the lift up.
It's a little lad.
Oh, look, they're waiting for Yvette to come through. The door opened and no one was there.
Yeah, it's coming straight up. We turn
Because
round and get it
you
up
need
there.
the keys to turn it.
Yeah.
Turn it twice and then press the button.
There you are.
Wow.
And it's stuck up there.
It's stuck. What if we press this? No, it'll come down now, won't it? Yeah, it's moving now.
Yeah. It went up on its own accord.
That's
As such,
amazing.
yeah. That's
What do you
him
think,
doing it.
Kieran? Quickly, very quickly.
Well, it's an erratic lift. You know, we're getting a stopping at floor 1, we're getting it moving up to floor 2 by itself. It's definitely erratic. Definitely erratic.
Now I'm being told, am I right in this? You want us to go back in the lift or back to David in the hub? What would you like us to do? You want us to go back in the lift? Back in the lift?
Can we have, if we're going to do that,
Yes.
can we have one person on each floor?
Yes.
Can we have one person on each floor? I'll go up to the first floor since that's where it's, and then if we can have, if Carl can go up to the
Helen,
top.
you come in with me.
Go on then.
Ready? Ready, guys? Yeah? Turn the key twice,
yeah,
okay?
okay. Right, let's see how quickly it goes up, John.
Come on, lift.
There she goes.
Come on, Jeremiah.
First floor.
Come on.
First floor.
Make it jam. Do something, sweetheart. Come on, if you're here.
Second floor.
Second floor now.
Come on. You there? Cool. We're pressing the ground button now. Oh, bless him. You're picking up on this.
First floor.
It's coming down at speed again. No,
Ground
he's not in there at the
floor.
moment.
Fine now. That's
Because, I mean, there's just no interference with it at the moment, but he's
All
doing
right,
it.
we've cleared that,
I feel
okay.
he's done it to respond. That's his way. We're asking him to do
Okay.
it. And
We're
he's responding.
going to move on now. David, it's back to you in the hub.
Thank you very much, Yvette. Very quickly, Richard Felix, this lift, what's this
Very
about?
common phenomena in this building. It happens frequently. The staff check it every night before they leave. It's happened to me in that building.
Has it?
Oh, God, yes.
Anything else, Richard Jones?
It's very common in hauntings for mechanical things to malfunction. Lights go off, lifts
Maybe
stop.
it's a dodgy lift.
Could be a dodgy lift, but it's interesting. It goes in with the story, and he picks up on the energy of the boy as well.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go now straight off to Matthew and to David. They're at the River Derwent. Let's join them now.
Okay, Dave, we're down by the river now. Okay, it's a bit of a weird situation.
Yeah,
Are you
a bit
getting
of an
anything
odd
at all? I am, Matthew, yeah. I mean, I hate to say things that are clearly obvious, especially with you here. And the obvious thing is that by the river someone may have drowned, and it was the initial thing I got. Therefore I'm looking for detail. I've got a female, she's sort of around 30 odd, and I'm getting the E name, so it's like an Elizabeth, an Edith, that kind of name. But the dominant thing I have to say is like, it's like this is a barrier. There's like two sides to the city, you know. I'm getting lots of fighting, but in two different eras. I'm no historian, but I'm getting those big tall hats, big tall hats, the British soldiers, but the great big tall ones with the gold bits around them. And I'm getting also Romans as well, so there's two time periods I'm getting.
So you're getting lots of, and the first thing then was an E name, an Elizabeth or an Enid. You think this is a woman who may have died here?
Yeah, under suspicious circumstances, and it's linked in some way to it's some kind of counterfeit. It's either counterfeit money or it's drugs. It's something that's not right either.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you think, what kind of date would you say for that person? Do you think that's relatively recent?
No, it's not recent. I think it's 1800s, maybe late 1800s.
Now you think separate to that is this other information you're getting something to do with soldiers?
I'll tell you what I'm getting, Civil War. Civil War is what I'm getting. I'm getting the Civil War, and I'm also getting Romans as well.
Okay.
You know.
So, anything else? Any more about this name of this Enid or Elizabeth?
No, it's like Edith. So yeah. I tell you what I'm getting. I'm getting. I know there is light on the river, it's clear from the street lamps here, but I'm not talking about these lights. I'm getting, if I was looking at more of a spiritual thing, I'd be thinking undines, which are like an elemental force rather than a spiritual force, if you know what I mean. They're like elemental beings. So there's lots of sparky lights that people might have seen down here as well.
But you seeing them, or you just...
I see them in my mind's eye. I haven't seen them physically yet. I may do if we spend longer down here, but in my mind's eye I'm seeing them.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got somebody who maybe died in suspicious circumstances.
Yeah, she's got blood on her chest, so it looks like it was a stabbing. The blood is... I'm seeing her in like a white robe, and it's almost, classical face popping up to the surface in my mind's eye. And there is a stain on her chest, and she's wearing white. She's got very dark hair. Very dark hair.
And do you think something quite specific to this spot here, or do you think somewhere...
No, it's not specific to the spot because when I first came down here, I know it sounds odd, but she kind of floated past me. She moved past me, so it would have been further up. And I think further up there is where there's far more paranormal activity than necessarily where we are.
Do you think this person you're talking about, this woman, this E person, is still in the river?
She's still wandering the shores. No, she's still wandering.
The body then? You think her body?
Oh, her body. No, her body's not. Her body's not. But her, if you like, her ghost walks here because she doesn't feel at rest.
Do you get anything? You want to take a few moments? Anything else coming through, or are you just getting?
I'm getting money, and I don't know why I'm getting money.
Money.
Money is surrounding her. It's like she's floating in the water, and the money is actually floating around her as well. And now that could be symbolic, or it could have been actual. And I'm also getting the sign of Taurus, which I know as an astrologer is about money as well. A bellowing bull is about money, and I don't know why I'm getting that. It may be the money link as well.
Okay, and then separate to those is this information maybe to do with the Romans, obviously many years ago back in time. Yeah. Nothing more than that. Anything specific we could be even check up on.
No, I'm getting something like it's over this side of the river. Is where a dominant force is. So attacking from this side of it. So I don't know if the historians might know which way it goes.
If anyone's getting orbs,
orbs
that are coming around. And then a separate one again was you said there's another thing maybe in between those two times.
Yeah. There's I think it's like a civil war.
Okay.
Civil war. I'm gonna stick my neck out. Maybe I should say
no, go, please do.
Say about my bayonet just yet.
I
think the bayonet might be associated somewhere around here.
Okay, and obviously somewhere around that time as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay then. So you think it's worth spending more time down here?
Yeah, I'd like to spend a bit more time. I'd like to walk around a bit more on the bank. It's interesting. It doesn't feel at all sinister though.
No.
I thought it might feel a bit more sinister.
It is a kind of unusual thing here. We're very careful you don't walk back here as well.
Because of the river. Watch your fall in, Matthew.
Yeah, because I must say as well, don't push me. I'm not really getting anything. I mean, these obviously things that you're telling me, but perhaps we'll pursue on that a little bit.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to leave you there for the second. You carry on the river, okay? We want them to carry on with their vigil there. Also, as you know, Yvette and Derek and the rest of the other team have gone to the next location. So it is time to find our next person. Okay, right, what we're going to do is the very light thing that we did right at the beginning. Let's have those random lights again, please. Here they go. Okay, let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Who is that? Who's that? Right, let's have a shot. There he is. That gentleman there. Stand up, please, in the blue shirt. Round of applause. Right, let's take that gentleman out of here, please. We're going to send him off there. Okay, still to come, Yvette and the team examine strange goings-on at the Old Dolphin Pub. It actually dates back to 1530 and it's the oldest public house in Derby. This gentleman here is going to that public house. Now, tonight already we've held a number of vigils. We've asked for your input into the live show. Now, what we also want to know is what spooky experiences you've had. What have you spotted that the team has actually missed on those locations? Tell us what you felt as you've watched the investigation team take part in those vigils. We'll find out more from you and from him after this break. That should be, yes, good. Well, welcome back to Most Haunted Live, our spectacular in Derby. Now, this is night one of our trilogy. Now, already we've investigated several locations around Derby, and Derek's come up with some really good stuff, which even Matthew is fairly impressed about. The historians have corroborated that. And also, members of our audience have got stories to tell as well. So let's go and find out what they have to say as I go running down here. Now, we need to go right down to the back here, because there's a gentleman who is right at the back who has something strange to tell us. So what's your name?
Andy.
Andy. And what's your story?
When Derek was talking about the little boy being kicked down the stairs at the top of the building, there was a little boy knelt down behind the crew with like a hat, wearing a hat,
Describe
a shadow.
it.
It was like a flat cap, quite short to his head, quite small to his head, but the peak was quite wide.
Sort of a historical hat?
Yeah.
And do you consider yourself to be a believer?
I am a believer, yeah.
Did anyone else see this? Hands up if you did. Some people over there. Come on, round here, come on. Right, where are you? Put your hands up again. Where are you? Right. Okay, good. Let me squeeze in here. What's your name?
Sue.
Sue, what did you see?
Just looked like a little boy peering behind the door when they were on the stairs.
And you saw this as well?
Yes, I
What's
did.
your name?
Jan.
And you definitely saw this?
Yes, we did.
How come you saw it and no one else did?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you a believer?
Yeah. Yes.
You're a believer? Okay. I also want to go and talk to this lady over here, because where have you gone? My friend here. Yeah, now you tell me your story this afternoon.
Well, we walked from the river, which is, as we're sat here, it's over behind us to the right, to get down here this afternoon. And as we walked under the river, under the bridge with the lights on underneath it, I said to my husband, I've got a pain in my chest and I've got a job to breathe.
And as you walked under a bridge, do you know which bridge that was?
It was the bridge down towards the right with the lights underneath on the footpath.
And did you have any other feelings at all?
Just the fact that I had a sharp pain in my chest and I couldn't breathe. It was literally as though something had been forced in my chest rather than...
As a doctor, I have to ask whether you have a medical complaint. No, right. I just thought it was worth checking. You don't know which bridge that was, though?
No, just the one just up the road here, okay. with the little glassy lights underneath.
Historians, Richards, is there anything there about people being ill when they feeling ill when they go near these bridges?
No, not particularly, but certainly people sense things and see things in the water, because it's not far away from where 3 Catholic priests were hanged, drawn and quartered, actually on one of the bridges in 1588. So, and the lady isn't the first person, to be honest with you.
Those are the Padley martyrs?
That's correct, yes.
Right, okay, where are our friends here who saw something else? Right, we have to squeeze right down here, excuse me. Right, okay, what's your name?
Ange.
And?
Vicky.
What did you two see?
On the webcams, on webcam 1, there was an arm that came down and came back up again. Right at the
beginning it was.
And you both saw this?
Yeah.
Did anyone else? You saw that?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Anyone else see that? Put your hands up if you saw that. Can we investigate that? Julian, can we investigate that? Everyone, a lot of people seeing this arm on a webcam. What else have you got?
Well, the webcams have been very busy tonight, actually, David. I just thought we'd talk to the interactive team who've been keeping an eye on the webcams. Webcam 3, Camille's in charge of that one. How's it going, Camille?
Oh, it's good. It's been very busy tonight. Lots of people seeing 2 orbs in the room, a man walking, pacing up and down the room, and they've all been seen in the doorway, particularly when the crew were in there earlier.
Right, and then on webcam, the next one here, this is Dan. Hi, Dan. Which one are you in charge of?
Webcam 4.
Right, what's been happening?
There's been a lot of screaming, a woman screaming, plenty of reports from that, and we've had a dysfunctional couple going at it quite regularly. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Michaela, which webcam are you in charge of? I don't know what to say to that. Thank you, Dan. Michaela, which one have you been in charge of?
I've been on webcam 1, the large room. We've had lots of orbs and mists, just like on Camille's webcam. Sightings of a man's face above the fireplace, a dark figure, and lots of heavy footsteps.
Really? Now, the bayonet, we're running this competition for the bayonet. We showed it to you earlier. It's just over here, actually. Let's have a quick look at it again. Have a look. Here it is. This is from one of the locations tonight, and the question is, can you think what that location might be? You've been texting us and calling us, and here's some of the messages we've had. The majority of people who responded are sensing a lot of pain and anger connected to the bayonet and think it was used in violent circumstances. So far we've got 3 main trends on this coming in. People who think the bayonet was found, maybe it was used in a nasty situation. Denise Evans has said a suggestion that ties all these kind of things together. Her son believes the bayonet was used by a soldier who killed someone in a fight, and that the body was found in the river and maybe near the Dolphin. Now, Jane here has got some hot news on the bayonet just come in.
Yes, we just heard from John in Hitchin, who's given us a full name connected with the bayonet, and that's Charles Winston. And Lindsay in Manchester tells us it has some connection with a child.
Right. And on the competition, by the way, 12,000 entries to come and see the show on Monday night, which is quite amazing. So that's the latest news from Interactive, David.
Thank you very much indeed, Julian. Well, we're now moving to our next location. This is the oldest pub in Derby. It's called Ye Old Dolphin Inn. And this is not only a pub, but it had a doctor's annex added to it. And people were dissected there. People who were criminals who were taken there after they'd been hanged. Let's join the team.
Okay. Right, I think, yeah, we are ready. We're just coming up the, just been coming up the really steep stairs, actually. I like them. We're coming up to the top floor here in the Dolphin Inn. A lot of history here. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. I can't wait to investigate this place fully. So please join us after the break. The whole team is here. It's a new location, and we can't wait to see what happens. So stick with us.
Well, welcome back to Most Haunted Live. Now, regular viewers will know that we never really know what's going to happen. There is no kind of script to this, and we never know when we investigate the various locations exactly what events will take place. Now, before the break, if you remember, we sent Helen, one of our audience who was picked by random, to go and investigate the silk mill with the rest of the team. Well, I'm pleased to say that Helen is back, but you're not in great spirits, are you? What happened?
All the time we were there, somebody was stood behind me in the corner.
Just repeat that for us.
There was something stood behind me in the corner. All the time I was in there.
How do you know that?
You know when somebody's staring at the back of your neck and you can feel them and you have to turn to look? I couldn't not look away.
And what did you actually see? If you can speak up, I know you're disturbed by what you saw, but if you can...
Just a dark shape. Just a shadow, I don't know, but there was something there.
You definitely felt this presence?
There was something there, and he's not happy, and he doesn't want to be there, and he wants to leave. He's in pain.
What do you make of that, David?
I think it's perfectly possible, and, you know, like I said to you earlier about energy, one of the ways in which paranormal activity very often expresses itself is emotionally. And sometimes when you read for someone or you go into these areas, the first thing that hits you is probably exactly what you're feeling, is the emotion of the situation, because you feel tearful for the personality involved, or you feel the emotion at their crossing. And emotion is one guarantee that you're picking up on something, I think.
And what do you make of this, Matthew? I mean, Helen is obviously disturbed by what happened there.
Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, it's quite clear Helen is disturbed by it. It's not an enjoyable experience, and I don't doubt at all that it's a genuine experience, and it's one that one mustn't dismiss that and just say, well, okay, maybe it was just, a trick of the light, or you're just kind of feeling a bit odd about it. It's difficult to find an explanation for it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is paranormal. What David suggested and what the usual context of these experiences is, okay, maybe it was a spirit.
Are you accepting this could be paranormal?
That's one possible explanation, yes. I do find it very interesting. I find, it's worth exploring that location again.
So you can't rule out the fact that it might be paranormal?
Of course you can't rule it out.
Let's ask Helen. You're convinced this is paranormal?
I'm convinced there was something there. You tell me.
And has this ever happened to you before?
I saw my dad, and we've had various things happen in the house, but...
Oh, well, I can only say thank you so much for being brave enough to take part. I'll tell you what I'd like to do, Donna, our floor manager, will take you away and look after you. And we also have St John's Ambulance here, so they'll make sure you have a nice cup of tea. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Helen a big round of applause. You see, this show, honestly, this show is extraordinary. It's time now to move to our next location. It's the Old Dolphin Inn, and it's the oldest pub in Derby. It was built in 1530 during the reign of Henry VIII. It's also had an extension which was added in the 18th century to the left side of the building, and it was a doctor's house. And what happened was it was customary for doctors to have bodies delivered to their house to be used for medical research. So what they would do is they would actually hang a criminal, and the body of the criminal would then be taken to the surgeons for dissection. And that happened before 1760. And what would often happen is that they were hanging, and they may hang for 20 minutes on the back of a cart, be placed on the table for the doctor to dissect them, and then they'd come round and be fully conscious to find the doctor putting the knife in. Let's join the team and see what they can pick up in the Old Dolphin Inn.
Okay, we're up here in the top floor of the Dolphin Inn. I just want to say, first of all, we hope Helen's feeling a lot better. I'm sure she will have a nice hot cup of tea. Well, as I say, we're here in the top level of the Dolphin Inn. Now, as we come in, we know that this place has an amazing history, as David has already told us. Do you pick up on something straight away, or is it something that has to come with a little bit more time of just
sometimes
waiting?
one can never tell, with all the investigations. Since coming into the atmosphere and the ether of this building, I became partly aware of a woman's energies. And this woman most definitely is not a visiting spirit. I feel that she is grounded, just like the little boy previously. I don't feel her life was taken from her as such, but I know, when I say I know, I feel that she would come around here. This area in which we're in now, I know, and I just really sense it psychically as well, that she's used to actually coming into this area, because what's still in the residual energy left still here is her like free-flowing, walking through this way. And there's the only way I can describe this, because Sam said this needs to be told.
Right.
So I said, okay, now exactly what is it that has to be told? This woman who walks in these areas here, I feel on the upper floors as well, I feel has got a connection. There's like a secrecy. There we go again. A secrecy connected to this woman, or she's, okay, I'll say she's in service to a man who has got something in strong connection with this building. She's in some kind of service. I don't feel like a husband-wife, but some kind of service to him. She's invaluable to him. And whilst I'm here, this is absolutely strange. I've never had anything like this. If ever you walk into a hospital and you walk along corridors, you can smell fragrances of what gets used in hospitals, and I'm smelling as if I've got this like very, very strong, well, the only way I can describe.
Okay, we're up here in the top floor of the Dolphin Inn. I just want to say, first of all, we hope Helen's feeling a lot better. I'm sure she will have a nice hot cup of tea. Well, as I say, we're here in the top level of the Dolphin Inn. Now, as we come in, we know that this place has an amazing history, as David has already told us. Do you pick up on something straight away, or is it something that has to come with a little bit more time of
Well,
just
sometimes one can never tell, you know, with all the investigations. Since coming into the atmosphere and the ether of this building, I became partly aware of a woman's energies. And this woman most definitely is not a visiting spirit. I feel that she is grounded, just like the little boy previously. I don't feel her life was taken from her as such, but I know, when I say I know, I feel that she would come around here. This area in which we're in now, I know, and I just really sense it psychically as well, that she's used to actually coming into this area, because what's still in the residual energy left still here is her like free-flowing, walking through this way. And you know, the only way I can describe this, because Sam said this needs to be told.
Right.
So I said, okay, now exactly what is it that has to be told? This woman who walks in these areas here, I feel on the upper floors as well, I feel has got a connection. There's like a secrecy, there we go again, a secrecy connected to this woman, or she's, okay, I'll say she's in service to a man who has got something in strong connection with this building. She's in some kind of service. I don't feel like a husband-wife, but some kind of service to him. She's invaluable to him. And whilst I'm here, this is absolutely strange. I've never had anything like this. If ever you walk into a hospital and you walk along corridors, you can smell fragrances of what gets used in hospitals, and I'm smelling as if I've got this like very, very strong, well, the only way I can describe it, smell as if I'm in some kind of hospital corridor. I know it sounds crazy, this, but it seems as if I've got this, and I've got that, and I've got screams as well, screaming all round me. And it's like as if, I just feel as if this lady is in connection with these screams.
Well, just stop me there, because of course we've got our audience member Nathan. How do you feel when you're hearing what Derek is coming out with, Nathan?
Feel fine, yeah.
Yeah, you feel all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, we're up here in this room. You're picking up on that. I think we've got a short amount of time that we can be here, so I think what we have to do is go down into a particular part of the building that is not nice at all. It's a very cramped area, so let's go on down into that area now. Okay, let's move on. Everybody be very, very careful down these stairs, okay? Okay, it's very dangerous down these stairs, guys, everyone. John, are you all right? Yeah. Nathan, are you okay? Okay, everybody come down. And when we go down into the cellar, you've got to be really careful because of your footing. Okay. Now, John, do you want to go down first with the camera? Yeah? Okay. Now, as you go down, John, with the camera, I'm just going to explain. Go on, you go down and I'll explain to everybody. Kieran? Yeah. Okay, I'll go down first. We'll go down first and then John follows. Okay. Well, there's no lights down there. Oh, God. All right. Kieran, what have you set up down here before? Oh, my God. Yeah.
Down there in one of the particular rooms, which is synced up to the handheld monitor that I've got, which is actually an EMF.
Yeah.
GUK EMF Vita, but it also has an audio monitor on it. So if I pick anything up on here, then hopefully it would also be recorded on the dictaphone downstairs.
Okay, we'll have to keep our voices up because, of course, the... Is everybody here?
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Right. Oh my God. Okay, okay. We'll just go straight on in here, John. You follow us, but watch your head as you come in this bit. John, are you there? Yeah. Keep oh my God. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, Jesus. I don't like it. Oh my God.
Keep low, guys. It's really low ceiling.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
No. Okay.
It's not good in here.
Okay. I don't like this one bit. I'm not having a time of my life here.
It's not good in here.
Come round.
Oh my.
Are you all right? Are you all right?
Yeah. Okay.
You're right, Nathan. Come on in.
I'm going to go the other side.
You come in where Carl is. It's very small down here. You all right, Derek?
Yes. Oh God.
What's the matter?
Oh. Oh, there's restless souls here. There's a number of them. It's not just one, Ivy. There's a number of them here. A lot of them are screaming out as well. It's thick and fast from the walls, from the top here, and it's like as if this woman has got something to do with this. What? Okay. There's medical conditions. What's that? Right, okay. There's a doctor. There's a doctor.
Yep.
There's doctor's conditions. Come on, give me more. Give me more.
I feel sick.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it?
I feel sick.
That's all emanating from the residual energy.
I'm not just saying that, Kieran. I am genuinely feeling a bit sick.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe the smell as well. It's absolutely horrific in here.
Do you want to look, there's oh God, there's all kinds of things. There's jars here. Look at those jars. There's all kinds. There's body. There's bits. There's the stomach and intestines. There's hearts. There's everything in here. That woman, she's out the door. Wow.
What woman?
There's a man. It's his assistant. She's like a nurse. And there's men, and they're all covered up. There's bodies. They're all covered up in this, like, wow, what is that called, Sam? It's like, the heads are covered, the body's covered. It's like a sacking, and it's like as if they've got them like that. And I see one, he's got his arm cut, 2 arms cut away. There's another, that's the skull and everything. It's, the stench of it. And yet, people.
I really do feel like I'm going to vomit.
Yeah, it's a horrible atmosphere.
How do you feel?
I don't feel too clever, to be honest with you.
Really?
I don't feel myself at all.
Really? What are you feeling?
I don't know, I'm feeling very warm and tense and really ill feeling about
Is anyone getting a tightening around their neck or the throat?
You are?
Yeah.
Because right now, it's like as if I've got this tightening something around my neck, and it's just tightening and tightening, and I can't breathe, and I seem to be like choking. Do you feel that, Carl?
Yeah, it's like I'm being strangled. It's like someone's got but it's not like it's like something's around my neck. And
it's like a rope round your neck.
Yeah, it's something's around there. It's just.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, because I'm sorry, I have to get out of here in a minute. Have you got to get out, John?
Well, I feel nauseous, I feel sick.
Turn the camera on yourself.
I do. I feel a bit nauseous, I feel a bit sick actually.
Oh God, it's horrible.
What everywhere, Evie.
What I want to do is I want to, I know this sounds awful and everybody's going to hate me for this, particularly Sally and Kath. What I want to do, Tom, is oh Jesus, you all right?
Yeah.
What's the matter?
I don't know, I'm sure something just touched me.
On the back of you.
Cobwebs. Are there any cobwebs? I can't see any.
No?
I thought I heard a...
Oh no!
Something touched my ear.
What I want to do is, what I was saying is, I want to leave Sally and Kath down here with a camera. No, I do, with a camera, because we've got to get back to the hub. So what I want to do, Tom, can you take one of the radio mics, or take it off Kieran?
Yeah, okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll bring Sally and Kath down here and leave the camera down here. And Tom, if you can stay out of the cellar but keep an eye on the sound, and then that's what we'll do.
I'll do that.
So, okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to... I'm so sorry, I'm sure really sick. We have to get out of here. So we're going to leave now and come back to the hub, and we're going to leave poor Sally and Kath down here, and see if they can get anything. Do you want to leave the...
I'll leave the dictaphone here, yeah, because if they get anything, then we can also see if it picks up.
Okay, let's make our way out and get Sally and Kath. We're on our way back to you, David, now. I've got to get out of
Okay,
here.
you go first.
I really have. It's absolutely disgusting.
Thank you very much, Yvette. So Yvette feels sick, John feels sick. Also, Derek's picked up a doctor, medical conditions, jars, body bits, stomachs, intestines, hearts, arms cut away. What will happen to the girls who are left there? Also, Derek and Yvette and the team are on their way back here to the hub right now. We're waiting to give them, obviously, a huge welcome return after this extraordinary night. They'll be back here after the break, so make sure you are... Where is it? Welcome back to Most Haunted Live. Thank you to all of our viewers at home for texting and calling in with all your stories, by the way. And thank you for the people who said that I've got a spirit light, apparently, above my shoulder. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. What I can tell you is the inimitable Yvette and the team are just moments away from rejoining us here in the hub. They'll be here in just a while. But first of all, let's go over to Julian. Julian, you got some results of competitions?
Indeed. And just before I give you competition result, a few things you need to know. On the webcams, voices and all the webcams at 11:19 simultaneously. So just thought I'd tell you that. And the competition. Well, where is Derek from? We were inundated. 13,000 texts on this. And the winners are Stuart Milton from Surrey. Well done, Stuart. Louise Allen from Grimsby. Shirley Morley from Derby. And our fourth winner, I think, is on the line now. It's Dave Anderson in Southend. Hi, Dave. I don't
Hello
think he's
there.
there. Oh, hi, Dave. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Right, congratulations. Well, it will be congratulations if you get the right answer. We'll just check it now, shall we? Is Derek from London, Liverpool or Lithuania?
Liverpool.
I think you might be right. Give him a round of applause. So, Dave, we look forward to seeing you on Monday night.
Will do.
All right,
Lovely.
we'll see you then. All right, well done. Congratulations. Now, the bayonet, this was the experiment, the psychic experiment we did tonight. And now it's David Wells's turn to
throw himself on it.
to tell us what you think. I mean, you've been holding it and so on. What have you
Yeah.
felt about it?
I haven't had much time with it. I have to say that, Julian, you know, to say that someone could have died with it is fairly obvious, and, you know, part of my job is to go a bit deeper than the obvious.
So what do you feel about it?
I think the real secret to this bayonet is not who died with it or whatever, it's in its discovery. It's the way in which it was found. It's the way it's found that the story is behind this bayonet. I get all the usual stuff, particularly if you look at this groove here.
Right.
What they're impressing on me is that the blood running down the groove and over my hand. So when I hold it, I can feel the blood running over my hand.
So interestingly, what we do know, and that's, you're on the spot here, it's a 19th century bayonet. It was found in a secret room in the Dolphin Inn. So you're saying it's the way it was found, in a secret room. And yes, it was believed to have been used as a murder weapon.
Right.
So thank you, thousands of texts on that. And 10,000 sightings, by the way, tonight as well, David. So it's been a great night and interactive. Thanks to the team, and back to you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Julian. I just want to ask our history boys over there, what did you make of what we've just seen in the Dolphin Inn? You know, this whole idea he came up with the jars and the bits and bobs and people's organs and so on. How easy is that to find out?
Well, if it was a doctor's house, and in the late 18th, early 19th century, doctors did depend not so much on the hangmen, but on body snatchers who would go out and rob the graveyards. And there are, Richard tells me, 4 graveyards around the vicinity. And so they would go out, they would dig up the bodies newly dead. What's quite interesting is when he picked up on the rope, because you might be inclined to think he's talking about the rope of the executioner. But in fact, what body snatchers used to do was what was known as fishing. They didn't dig the entire grave. They dug up a quarter of the grave and then sent either a wire or a noose into the grave, grab the cadaver or get it around the cadaver's neck, and then hurl the body out. And then it was taken around to the doctor. And in this case, one body, which is quite common in those days, one body is supposed to have not been dead when it was delivered to the doctor. The doctor went down to look at it, and it came back to life on him. So
well, I mean, I think what's interesting tonight is finding out exactly what the team felt had happened, because historically very accurate again, Derek. Matthew, yet to be convinced. So why don't we see what they say for themselves. So ladies and gentlemen, please will you welcome them back. It's Yvette Fielding, Derek Okora and the rest of our investigative team. Come and have a seat. Come and have a seat. Come and have a seat. Well, it's very nice to see you.
Thank you.
What's all this about you being sick?
I wanted to be sick. Actually, I've only ever felt like that once, and that was we did an investigation at Derby Jail, and I actually thought I was going to be sick. It was so claustrophobic in there, I can't explain it.
Can I just ask our tough man cameraman at the back here, you felt sick as well, John?
I did, yeah. I felt quite nauseous. I felt very hot and nauseous, and I don't know if it was a psychological thing, but I did feel nauseous, yeah.
Which is slightly odd, isn't it? Matthew, what do you make of the fact that the two of them felt ill?
Well, at the very least, to say interesting, but also, as John points out, again, how much do we know that it could be psychological? Again, I'm not doubting that, saying, oh, we're making it up. Of course they didn't feel sick. Yes, they felt sick.
Okay, let's go in. Sorry, I've got to stop you. Okay, let's see what's going on.
What is it? Oh, God, what is it? Oh, it's a pipe upstairs. Oh, God, it's a pipe. Right, sorry.
What's happened there, guys?
We just heard a really weird, like, fizzing noise, and Kath just got tapped on the back as well.
Is she convinced of that?
What did you think?
What, the noise?
Yeah, no, the tap on your back.
I don't know, it was like it was the middle of my back. I wasn't moving.
And I was, like, stood about a metre away from her.
I didn't move, so it was maybe, I don't know, it wasn't the wires that I've got near
It's
me.
really horrible down here.
It's really bad. I'm wondering if the camera's staying straight, because I'm shaking so much.
And what other feelings have you got there?
This is evil.
Well, there's a big coffin here. I don't know if there's anything in it. I think it's padlocked. And there's just horrible pictures of, like, brains and skeletons and things. It's not really nice.
Yvette Fielding, how can you leave those poor girls there on their own?
Well,
I mean,
we had to come back here. Oh, Sally, are we all right?
We come back.
Oh, we had to get back here, and because of the feelings that we were feeling, we actually thought it would be a shame to sort of just drop the camera and run, because as you know, with Most Haunted Live, you know, we can't spend the time that we would love to spend, so we thought it'd be great just to leave the camera there.
Okay. Now let's just talk about this silk mill. That for me was the highlight, Derek, of tonight, because I really liked that. You know, the fact that you came out with this name, the poor boy screaming with the blood coming from his head, no Isaac, this horrible, he was a little boy called Jeremiah, you said.
Yes.
How convinced were you about that?
Absolutely. If there was 110%, it's 110%. The little boy perished there through the hands, actually kicking, physical abuse downstairs. It was horrible. His last moments, it was horrible.
You haven't seen this. Let's show you what's happened tonight.
And you know, I get this feeling that's been emitted from this energy as if I've got a form of, the only way I can describe it, the form, and it's coming to me here and surrounding me, a form of depravity. That's the only way I can describe it. And it's making me feel, not physically sick, but it's taking on this energy, which I want to come off me, is make me feel as if I want to be sick.
Really? Oh, God, I hate this. This has got a horrible... Oh, God. Oh, my God. Be careful. Oh, the smell, it's horrible up here. Yeah. Oh.
Sam, you have to help me with this. Come on.
Who was that? Who was that?
Okay.
Did you do that? You did.
I've just seen a little boy, and this little boy is screaming. He's screaming, and there's someone just above him, and it's like as if he's bleeding. He's bleeding from here, he's bleeding from the ears, he can't move. This is the feeling I've got here. Take it off me. Take it off me, please. Sam, help take it off. And look at that horrible. there's a man that's looking over him. And he's screaming, no, Isaac, please, please. And this man's looking over him. He's beat him, and he's beat him. Oh look, he's falling down the stairs, he's gone right down. She's going down now.
No, why is it stuck on the bus? Don't stop on the bus. No! Oh my bloody door! Close the door! It's jammed!
Up. Is she okay?
Why did it do that?
What's that? Is she okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
She just screams. She's in the lift and she stops at one car.
Yes!
Go on, can you press this?
Sorry.
I'm just seeing that. Evie!
Why did it
She's gone down.
Oh, she's down now. She's down. Carl?
Yeah, I'm done.
Why has it stopped on the first floor? Why did it do that?
It's gone up.
It's gone
Look,
up!
the
It's gone up!
it is.
It's gone up!
By itself.
It's gone up!
From the ground floor. Well done, Jeremiah. Do it again. Bring it down. Come on,
It's
bring
gone,
it down.
it's moved off on its own. We've not pressed any of the buttons. It's just moved off on its own and it's gone up to level 2 and it's jammed. You've got to turn the key to make the lift go up.
Yeah.
And it's just gone off on its own. No one sent the lift up.
It's a little lad. There's a doctor. There's a doctor.
Yeah.
There's doctor's conditions. Come on, give me more. Give me more.
I feel sick.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
I feel sick.
That's all emanating from the residual energy.
I'm not just saying that, Kieran. I am genuinely feeling a bit sick. I think maybe the smell as well. It's absolutely horrific in here.
There's all kinds. There's body. There's bits. There's the stomach and intestines. There's hearts. There's everything in here.
Do Tom. Oh, Jesus, you all
okay?
right? What's the matter?
The back of you.
I can't see any.
No?
I thought I heard a...
Oh no!
touched my ear.
Derek, you were very moved watching that. How do you summarise tonight?
Well, the way I summarise it, tonight we had not just individual activity, we had all this residual, negative residual. You know, tonight was something, you know, it was rather sickly.
And Yvette?
Tonight was amazing for me, the lift particularly and down in the cellar, and I think tomorrow night is going to be even better.
Because of course this is only night 1 of 3.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
And
it's really made us all really excited. Think, oh, good grief,
Yeah.
if this is night 1, what's going to happen on night 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just join Kath and Sally back in the cellar for one last time.
Oh.
Hello? Hello?
Hi. Anything there to report?
We're just staying as still as we can. It's horrible down here.
I have to say,
Things touching our heads. It's horrible.
I think you've done fantastically well. I think it's time to come back and join us here. Thank you for what you've done tonight. Thank you very much. Also, I do want to say thank you to Helen as well. Helen John from South Wales. I can assure you that she is really fine now, and I'm very pleased about that. Thank you, of course, to our audience members who have taken part tonight. And it only remains for me to say thank you to everyone, to Interactive, and of course to David Wells. Thank you to the historians. They've been great as usual. Matthew's been a real sport, the investigative team, and of course Derek and Yvette. Now, tomorrow we will 9 o'clock live here on Living TV. Now, with just one night to go before the summer solstice, the paranormal activity is really heating up here in Derby, and we should be sending members of our audience off to join our investigators to many promising haunted premises. Now, for instance, they'll be delving into strange sightings at the site of a theatre that premiered the very first Dracula performance. They'll also be going to Derby Jail, which is reputedly the most haunted nick in Great Britain. That sounds fantastic. And they'll be going to the catacombs, which are underneath the old courts, where condemned men and women made their last journey before being hanged, drawn and quartered. It is all live. It's only here on Living TV. This is the home of Most Haunted Live. And also tonight I want to say thank you very much indeed to our audience tonight, who have been fantastic. Thank you very much to all of them. It's been an incredible night. We need you to join us again here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, live on Living TV. Until then, from all of us, good night.